People always say we should wake up, and as soon as our feet hit the floor, we should be giving thanks for our life. And finding this kind of intense gratitude first thing in the morning can be a bit of a challenge for most of us. So I wanted to see if I could find a way to very simply hack this idea of finding awe and beauty and gratitude first thing in the morning. All right, so here I am ready for my sunrise, day one. And even though it was an annoyingly simple idea, there was a big part of me that still wanted to avoid it and not do it at all. Almost didn't come. Because it would mean waking up on time. In fact, it would mean watching the sunrise every day for a week. Even though I wanted to avoid waking up early, I instantly felt this idea grab a hold of me and it wouldn't let go. And that's how most things are for me. I call them shinies. Things get shiny, they grab a hold of me, and they won't let me go until I try them. So I blocked off a week on my calendar for sunrises and set my alarm for 7 a.m. I knew this would be a pretty big challenge for me for one really big reason. And that's that ever since I got laid off, I've started sleeping in later and later and later. And since the only person I'm really accountable to right now is myself, I wasn't too worried about it. But I knew it wasn't sustainable, and quite frankly, that it just wasn't the best use of my time. The morning is such an important time for self-reflection and getting your daily habits in so that you can start your work at a reasonable hour. I don't need to be waking up at 5 a.m. or anything, but starting my day before the afternoon would be nice. Yeah, my sleep schedule's been really whack since I was laid off and got COVID, so hopefully this will be like a nice hard reset for that, and I'll get to soak up some sunbeams early in the morning. So yeah, here goes. Cheers to the sunrise. And that's how I was introduced to the number one enemy of self-development, growth, and artistry: resistance. It showed up immediately as not wanting to get out of bed. Even on day one, I had the urge to start tomorrow, hit snooze, and just wait another day. I'm pretty sure I did hit snooze actually on that first day, and I didn't really actually make it out the door till 7:15. There's something so miserable about waking up. Like, you gotta break out of this like warm cocoon that you're in, and then like put a camera in your face first thing in the morning and then go out in the cold. It's a really great recipe for avoidance. During this week, I started reading The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and he talks about resistance a lot. I quickly recognized it from his writing as the thing that was greeting me every single day when I woke up. The first few days, I wrestled with it, talked back to it, bargained with it, until I was so busy talking back that I was already kind of awake anyway, so I was like, what the hell, I'll just get out of bed. But by the end of the week, something had started to shift for me when it comes to this idea of resistance. I realized it was always going to be there. So Pressfield says that basically in any area of your life, if you're trying to move into like a higher state, higher realm, or like higher up on the emotional scale, you're gonna run into this thing called resistance. If you're trying to move downward on the scale and you're trying to like give into your vices or do stuff you shouldn't do or know you shouldn't do or that's like bad for you, and I say bad for you in air quotes because you gotta like discover what that is for yourself, but if you're trying to move downwards in the scale, you're gonna be fine. You're not gonna meet resistance at all. It's only when you're trying to improve your life, move upwards on the scale, move into something bigger, higher, newer, better, not newer and better, but higher, higher realms, okay? When you're trying to move into the higher realms, you're gonna run into resistance. By the end of the week, the sunrise was having such a profound effect on my life, and I was enjoying it so much that I was literally like, if getting out of bed is the hardest thing I have to do, and then the rest of my day is gonna be set up for success, if the one time I have to overcome resistance in the day is first thing in the morning, getting out of bed, so be it, you know? So that brings me to lesson number 1 from 7 days of watching the sunrise, and that is that resistance will always be there. So after the sunrise, I would pretty much always head back to my apartment, finish drinking my coffee on the couch, do some meditation, some affirmations and journaling, and basically all the daily habits that I need to set my day up for success. I'd cook myself a healthy breakfast. I didn't have to rush to get started on work till at 9 or 10, and I finally didn't feel behind like I was rushing the rest of the day. I had plenty of time for leisure and introspection in the morning and solidifying habits that really support me. I even started bringing my affirmations with me. I have them on an app that I listen to in my headphones, and so I would listen to them while watching the unique and stunning daily morning show that is The Sunrise. And that was really powerful. I felt like listening to my affirmations outside under the beautiful morning sky made me feel really limitless and full of possibility, and just had a really positive effect on my mood. It was so amplifying for my affirmations. The chill of the cold made me so grateful to come back to my warm apartment and feel my fingers thawing out. And do you ever notice that when your fingers are cold, it feels actually really similar to when you're feeling energy move through you. You're literally feeling what it feels like to be alive. So I really loved just noticing that feeling of energy or chi moving through my hands when they were cold as they thawed out. And yeah, some of the things we take so for granted, like a hot shower or a warm apartment, just felt so much more yummy after being out in the cold and watching the sunrise. The sunrise really reminded me that when you set your day up with purpose and intention, you'll be rewarded the rest of the day. If I can just do this one hard thing, getting out of bed and facing the chill, then I've literally won the day. This week I was able to solidify some habits that really support me. I got back to the gym, and I feel like I showed up to my work with more energy and vigor, and I was able to be done by 2 or 3 o'clock. Which brings me to lesson number 2. Show up for yourself. We hear this phrase so much, and I think a lot of times people don't really know what it means. And I think for me, what I'm starting to understand about it is it's about putting myself first above resistance. So it's so easy to give into resistance and all the reasons why we shouldn't do something, especially things that are really good for us, right? Like a cold shower in the morning, or watching the sunrise, or working out. And so I think showing up for yourself really means showing your mind who's boss, who's in charge, and stepping up to the plate in a way where you're saying no, it's more important that I do my soul's work than it is I listen to my resistance. And I also learned that showing up for yourself actually does feel better than self-sabotage. There was one day out of the 7 days when I did not watch the sunrise. And honestly, I learned the most from this day. The day wasn't horrible. I made breakfast and journaled and meditated, all the things. And I still had a great day. But I didn't feel as good as I thought it would. I thought sleeping in was going to be this relishing, delicious experience, and I didn't even end up doing that. I got up anyways. And this is really the truth about self-sabotage for me. It rarely does ever feel as good as we think it's gonna feel. And so my lesson for this is if you're doing a 7-day challenge, it's okay to make it an 8-day challenge. That one day didn't kill me. It didn't ruin everything. In fact, I learned the most from that day. That was the day where it was a comparison of okay, I've been doing this every day, it's been feeling great. And then I didn't do it, and I was this day was kind of meh. It wasn't terrible, but it was the difference between a mediocre day and a wonderful day, So overall, watching the sunrise wasn't a groundbreaking experience for me. But then actually, the more I think about it, it kind of was. Because I feel like I solidified some really important habits for myself. I feel like I truly tapped into more beauty and awe and joy first thing in the morning. I loved seeing what the sky was going to look like every day, and I took a picture every day. It was actually the exact medicine I was looking for. And so that's what my final lesson is for today, and that's to listen to your shinies. I also sometimes refer to them as divine inklings. They're these little voices, little inklings in your mind that grab onto your heart and won't let go. And they're little things you might want to try, or you might want to read, or you might want to do. And for the most part, for me, I just have to try it on. I'm an experiential learner, and so I have to go try the thing. And it's okay to not like the thing. It's okay to do it for just 2 days or 7 days or 3 days or 30 days, whatever you want to do. But follow those little nudges, because I truly believe that's where like our own individual healing and medicine is. You already know the next shiny thing that you could try that might actually give you the medicine you're needing. Like it's like, I feel like it's like a part of your brain, maybe the reticular activator or something, like, looking for the things that you need. Like if you're saying you want more of this, your brain's gonna give you opportunities to do that, to find that. So if you're on a journey of healing, or you're trying to improve your life or understand yourself better, then trust the compass that you've got. It's so easy to like invest in other people's ideas or trust what other people have to say, but I would recommend start by deciding that your ideas are enough and that simple things are enough. And if it calls to you, then it might be the medicine that you're looking for. Oh, and one more thing that I learned is that everything is better with friends. Even if that friend is a cat. Especially if that friend's a cat. So share the things you love with the people you love.